Hi, welcome to Module 9. Now this module is going to be a little different because I'm going to bring in a lot of Orton Gillingham that I learned from my practicum. Then I'm going to show you how I merge it with my reading program. And also I'm going to talk about assessments, what kind of assessments I use, what Orton Gillingham recommended, how you know how to move forward with your student. So first I want to share that when your student has been with you about 30, 40, or 50 hours, we want to give them a new challenge. I always give my students a certificate that they've completed 30, 40, or 50 hours. Some of the students are going to make faster progress than others. So I don't want to say just 30. I've had a student that at 50 hours, I was ready to post-test her. Another student didn't get post-tested until maybe 60 hours. But once you post-test your student, you're going to see the growth that they've made. So we claim with the step-by-step reading, you're going to see 1 to 3 years growth in reading vocabulary, fluency, and or comprehension after 30 hours. Now that was when I worked with students 5 days a week. So now we're in a different situation, being on Zoom and with the demands of the kids on the kids. Sometimes we don't even see the students 2 days a week. And we just finished helping kids in a low-income school district who couldn't get internet connection. Maybe there was a sickness in the house. Maybe they didn't have materials ready. And for whatever reason, the 25 hours that we donated, they were not ready to have a post-assessment to show the gains that we said they would have. So when you have a healthy situation, you can count on 30 hours, you're going to have some good progress. So when you assess the student, we want to give them another opportunity to let them know they're going to a new level. So a speech pathologist once asked me, do they need to listen to the music all the time, even the second year? No, they don't. They could just listen to the music the first year. If they want to listen to music the second year, that's okay. Or even after 50 sessions, if they want to continue to listen to the music, that's fine. They will listen to it when I show you how I merge with my reading program. But first I want to show you one of the assessments I use. Well, there's something called the PAST, P-A-S-T, it's by Kilpatrick. And I learned in my Orton Gillingham practicum how to create my own. So I've created my syntron substitutions. And you can do the same, but mine are available always. If anything I have is something you want, let me know, because I have a store. But I want to show you to start. I'll start my student with substitution, with deletion of a syllable. And I'll start with 3-syllable words. I have other videos on my YouTube channel that address this in depth if you want more instruction. But for example, we start with 2 syllables. Sunlit, and the student says sunlit. Say it again without sun. Lit. Say absent. Absent. Say it again without ab. Sent. Say combat. Combat. Say it again without com. Bat. So you get the idea there. Then you can take off the second syllable. Say expel. Expel. Say it again without pel. X. Say extend. Tend. Extend. Say it again without x. Tend. So we do that with 2 syllables. Then we move to 3-syllable words. Thundercloud. And they repeat it. Say it again without thun. Der cloud. You'd be surprised how students forget that middle syllable. What about enjoyment? Say it again without n. Joy meant. Say kangaroo. Say it again without king. Go-roo. So you're dropping off a syllable from a 3-syllable word. And this is amazing how this improves their phonemic awareness. We measure phonemic awareness in this drill is measured as correct or automatic. So students who have a certain score correct and a certain score automatic, they're going to double their scores in both areas. And it's so exciting to see their growth because of these drills. So that we have categories D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, or M. So level D is 2 syllables. Level E is 3 syllables. Level F is say fall. Say it again without the F. All. Level G is say would. Now change the W to G. Good. Okay, so that's level G. Level H. Now they get a little bit harder, and I'll show you, you'll see why. Say sled. Say it again without the S. Lead. Say slide. Change the S to G. Glide. So it's a little bit harder there. Level I. Say beam. Say it again without the B. Say couch. Say it again without the ch. Cow. Say plane. Say it again without the n. Play. So that's why that's a little bit trickier. I. J is a vowel change. Say sit. Change the I to a. Say read. Change the E to O for road. So why that is a little bit trickier is it's their brain's not seeing this, just hearing this. They're not just hearing the sounds, their brains are seeing the letter combinations as well. So when you say read, if they've already learned EA and they have to change E to O for road, ROAD in their brain, it's a little bit trickier. So you'll see their brains work at that. It's so fun though. Level K is say glide. Say it again without the ul. Guide. So they're taking out a letter from a blend. Level L is say mouth. Change the th to s. Mouse. Say health. Change the to p. Help. So you're changing an ending sound. Sometimes it's a blend. Level M, say send. Oh, sorry. Say send. Okay, say it again without the n. Said. Say dent. Say it again without the n. Debt. So one thing I learned was the shorter I can keep my instruction, the easier it was for some students. So say send, take away the n. If they can't visualize it, I would say send, take away the n, said. Say dent, take away the n, debt. And then we have drift, change the f to p, drip. Say worked, change the k to st, worst. So those are levels D through M, and they were guided by Kilpatrick. So Kilpatrick has a free download. You can get his past assessments level. Anyway, I'll tell you that a little bit later. This is what I have for my warm up. So the students love warming up with this. Then looking at my new planner, we're going to start with a visual drill. So I'm going to start using small cards now, okay? Big cards are for level 1. Well, and it's not like a whole different, we call it level 1, level 2, but kids can start with level 2 if you want. So here are my cards. I'm going to have the student only say the sound now. Wa, hua, hua. Kul, der, ker, th, kun, or like for knife. I have redone all these cards, so that's what's getting my attention. I should have videoed with the new ones, but I didn't. So anyway, G, ch, bull, and burr. Working, I have some blank cards, and it's just has been so easy. If I can't find, I sort my cards like this. So it's real easy to grab a set that I want to work with. And then if I can't find a sound that I want to work on, I'll just write it on the back of a index card, or I've had some key concept cards and I just use the back of them. So you want to drill these cards. Now, the next step is we have a paper called SOS. SOS is sounding out what they just read, okay? What they just read. Okay, so say wa, how do we spell wa? Say qua, how do we spell qua? Okay, say hua, how do we spell hua? Say sm, how do we spell sm? So the cards you show are the cards you're going to have them write. Now you can imagine when they're doing vowel sounds like OU. And let me get this other paper here. Say E. How do we spell E? So I can have the vowel teams out. So I'll have EA, says E-A-F. How do we spell E? They will say vowel consonant E. They'll say E-E. They'll say E-A. They'll say Y says E. E-Y says E. So I have this sheet that is a guide when the students are moving through the sounds of the vowel teams. I'm going to use this guide to check off and highlight what they know, and it lets me know what they don't know, and that's what I'm going to teach, okay? So the next step is going to be your auditory drill. So if your student had trouble with G, I'm going to use G in my auditory drill. If your child had trouble with N, I'm going to use this in my auditory drill. And if your child had trouble with cur, I'm going to use that in my auditory drill. Notice these are all beginning digraphs or consonant teams. All you have to do is get, when you're working with those, all you need is to get your consonant cards. So we have that's kind of silly. New, these are just nonsense word. Nai, ne, ne, now. So this is interesting. Did you get it where I said nai? Because I'm thinking of knife. Usually we do the short vowels. So you could even say ne. And then some of the oldest students might recognize if you had a FE, that'd be vowel consonant E, and it would be knife. So we have a lot of fun with these auditory drills. Then you change to G. Go ahead and get your vowels there again. Ge, G, Ga, Ga. And then do another beginning sound. Let's do th, okay? We could do, even though the word is the, it's also in the word them. So we want to let them practice the, the, and then we would have the as in there, okay, and the, tha, okay. So those are the beginning sounds. You can also do a drill with vowel teams. This is where, when you do an auditory drill with this, okay, they're going to say O, A. They're going to say the sounds they know. But what about OA says, well, boat, OA says O, EE. If they have trouble with any of these are what you're going to do with your auditory drill. So what you'll do is isolate. What if a student has trouble with EE and EA? EA says E, A, and E, but they don't know it says E. So we're going to isolate it, and we're going to put simple consonants in front. So I have my white consonants somewhere in my little circle organized file. I'm going to just use simple consonants in front. We're going to say eh, even though it sounds like T, right? Let's say eh. Eh. There. I should just go like this. Pe. Le. This is what I want you to catch them. Don't let them say ke, se, because you have a soft C with your E. Se. We don't put X in front. Where. So now I'm going to change to my other consonantine E. E says E. We. That's not how we spell the word, but it's a phoneme, as in the word week. How many days are there in a week? Then we have D, like deep. C. T. Like in the word, oh, never mind. We have that one. And we have fee, like feed. So these are the auditory drills. Very big with Orton Gillingham. A lot of fun. But you have to find the way to make it easy for you and the student so that it's structured and systematic and sequential and fun. And I found that way. So when you do your SOS, select some that you're going to do your drill with. When the student has trouble with the ones you're drilling, which is step 2, those are the ones you're going to do the auditory drills and get other cards. And you can make these cards yourself on some index cards. If you have time while you're watching TV, you can do that. You could order cards from me. I think cards are really hard to get. So I always, I have colored clips and I have silver clips. I think it's the silver clips. I'll show you with my assessments how I use silver clips, but I use colored clips for a different organization. Anyway, so put these just back in your little circular tray. So now here's our planner. We've done the warm-up drills. We've done the visual drill which is SOS. It's the cards. How do you, the phonogram cards. Then we do the auditory drill, which is the blending of the cards. And that's why the kids like the small cards. And when you work with the students in your home, it's easy to pull them out. If you work with the students on Zoom, you pretty much have to plan ahead of time what you want to practice, and that's okay. It's just a different, it's a different plan. And then the sound blending, we did sound blending. Now, what we do is a lot of review. Step 5 is review of words, and it's review of sentences. So you're going to look through your previous lessons, have them read some of the words, have them read some of the sentences, ask some questions for clarification. And when I introduce my word list, I usually stick with the basic words, but go ahead and dive into the intermediate words and see if your students can read those intermediate words, okay? And you can find those in the ABCs of OG book that gives you all these lessons. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the new concept, and the circles. So I want to teach, I want to show you what I follow. I have a scope and sequence here. So say the student has learned all these. Oh, you know what? She hasn't learned floss, the double F or the double L, the double S or the double Z. If I go into my ABCs of OD, I have lessons for all those. And after I scan them into my computer, I put them in a binder. I scan them in my computer. That way I can upload them for the student to read, and they're uploaded for me to print out. So I'm going to get the lesson plan for the floss words. Another thing happening here, we have a doubling rule. We have vowel consonant E. So the student has learned a lot of vowel consonant E with the beginning step-by-step reading, but now we're just going to go ahead and review because there's so many word lists with vowel consonant E, and I will teach A consonant E words, and I'll review it one day. Then I'll do I consonant E words, review it another day. E consonant E words, review it another day. Because you always want to introduce a new concept and review it. Introduce another concept, review it. You actually can review 1 to 2 days if the student needs to. But this is where it's easy for them to use their cards at home because they're not shuffling through letters, plastic letters. You're going to have them do the sound circles. They're going to tap out the sounds of the word, pull the circles down, point to every sound in the word. So we could say the word, how about cake? Okay, K, A, K. 3 sounds. It's got that silent E, that sneaky E. And some of the students like to put that cube, the sneaky E cube, the unifix cube that I talked about in a previous model. So they're going to pull the circles down and point to the letters, sounds, and say the sounds. Then they're going to get their cards, and they're going to take the vowel consonant E card, which I have, look at this, okay? Vowel consonant E, we said cake. Do I have my A consonant E? Well, I don't. If you'll have all your cards already, they're going to just take this and they're going to get the beginning card. If you want to separate this instead of having it this way and just have, 2 different E cards and then let them pull from their consonant cards for cake or fate, whatever you're teaching them, let the cards be on the desk and let them pull from the right selection. And that's that hands-on kinesthetic that they need. And they love it. They love it. They feel like big kids. They've learned a lot. Now they're in level 2. So then we put here, so we've done this. So now we're at step 7 would be if you want to introduce sight words, they call them ring words. And then step 8 is actually your SOS with COPS. So what your SOS with COPS is this. Go back to this paper. So this was our auditory drill. Now I'm going to have the student say a word, tap out the sounds with me, write the word, and then tell me how they wrote it. Next word, say the word, tap out the sounds, write it. What letters did you write? And you're going to do that for up to 10 words. On day 2, you can do different words, or you could even add some of the review words from a previous lesson, or some of the sight words, or some of the ring words that you taught. Getting organized with the Orton Gillingham model is a big challenge for a lot of people, and I think I've learned a way to make it easier for you. So I hope you give me the thumbs up that you're seeing that. Then we have the COPS, which is they want to capitalize, they want to punctuate, and they want to be sure their sentence makes sense. So I read them 2 or 3 sentences with the same sounds that they're being taught. And the other thing I didn't mention is before I have them write, we have them read the words on the paper, have them read the phrases, have them read the sentences. You want them to read, just like when I did my step-by-step reading, I had the kids read in the phonics book. I had them read the spelling words before they actually took that spelling test. You want them to read. It lowers that stress. It just relieves that stress in the brain. Now, you can see with this model, there's no room to really listen to the music because it's such a busy model. Everything is changing every 5 minutes. Change, change, change. You don't have time to worry with the music. As wonderful as it is. So I'll have the students write 2 or 3 sentences, and then you can assign some homework, and you can also let the student do some reading on your computer with extra time. I have the Spire downloadable books that aren't for sale, but they've allowed us to download them and use them for our own students. So I used to train with Spire. I just love that organization, and they are generous. And so you could get books. So you just read the level books and you check off the page that you've read. You write the title down and just go on and on and on until you have a student that's at level 5. And it just all works together very beautifully. So that is the Orton Gillingham method when I take my student to another level. So what I wanted to share is I have students who don't want to always learn new sounds like this. They like reading the phonics on the screen. And my goodness, there's like, what, 80 pages? So there's a lot of room for them to read and grow. And they like taking the spelling exercises, and they like working in the workbooks. So what I do for them, so I've shown you the level, taking your student to another level, but now I'm going to show you what if your student wants to stay with the step-by-step reading, but still take it to another level. We can do that. We're going to do our warm-ups like this. Then we're going to, you can do the phonogram cards. How do we spell? How do we spell? SOS. The thing is, when you do the SOS, they like this, but they're not going to, look at all this coloring. I got to move it here. They're not going to complete the bottom part, because with the spelling exercises, you need just, you either print out some paper. By now, the kids can number their pages 1 to 20. They can number their lines, and then their sentences. They're just going to use regular lined paper. So you're only going to utilize the top of this. So you will go back to using the plastic letters, because with the spelling exercises, we're not really following a specific vowel team or a specific consonant blend. We're mixing up different words. And an example for that, if I could give you an example. So spelling exercise 19 is backstop, mascot, backlog, contact, bobcat, padlock, hatbox, combat, compact, sandbox, cannot, hot rod, sandlot, ban lawn. So to use cards to write those, to send out those words is going to be way too hard. So you do the first 5 words, and you're going to have the student grab the consonants and the vowels and put them in the order. When we do syllables, we tap out the sounds with 2 hands. So backstop would be b, a, k, s, t, a, p. backstop. So they're going to pull the letters out for that. And you're going to see if they know CK, back, and then stop. So after they sound that out, I do 5 words like that. Then I have them go into the computer and they do the phonics reading. And they could use the music or they can't. It's okay. By this time, the students really aren't as into the music because it's a lot busier. So they read in the phonics book, and then I let them read the words that are going to be in the spelling test. And like I explained the last module, I let them know they're only going to be responsible to write those first 5, the words we've practiced, and they can skip every other line, and we'll go back and review. And then when you're doing syllables, instead of them writing the whole word or the first letters, have them write the first syllable. Another time, have them write the second syllable if you haven't practiced it with them. But once you've practiced it with them, you want them writing the whole word. Okay, so that gets you to that's my last step, step 9. And that's how, actually, I call it 9-10. So they're going to use lined paper for it, okay? And then always, if you have extra time, another 3 minutes, 5 minutes, pull up a story that they can read. Now, another thing is, if you don't want to do the auditory, the cards, the drill with the cards, I have used with some students, that's the time I take to teach contractions, and I'll work in the workbook with another lesson. So there's so much rich material in the workbooks, and you don't get through it all after 50 hours. So I take advantage and do some drills with that in the workbook. And you can always do the workbooks towards the end of the session. So I hope I've given you a lot of information and you're not totally confused. I was going to share about assessments, but I think our time is up. So that'll be in the last module. And I'll talk to you about how you know where your student is and how you know what to teach them next. Bye-bye now. Thanks for tuning in.